Let's start getting dirty today, y'all. We are going to chat about digging your well before you are thirsty. Life is not just about short term comfort, even so sometimes we think it is, but it's also more importantly about long term gain. So, in order to discuss this from a real estate perspective, we need to have an understanding of how inflation works. Inflation is the general increase of prices over time, and it significantly impacts the purchasing power of money and the value of investments, right? So, inflation basically corrupts the actual value of money, meaning that over time, the same amount of money, same amount of dollars you and I have now, buys fewer goods and services than it did before. So, what investors often do is they will seek out what they call inflation hedges, right? Assets that tend to appreciate or gain value as inflation rises. And yep, you guessed it, the tangible asset of real estate is at the top of the list. So, during inflationary periods, real estate investments have long historically outperformed any other assets, showing an average appreciation of about 5 to 6%. So, what does that mean for the average consumer like you and me? Well, I'll start with a practical example. So, Mike and I purchased our current home with a 2.9% interest rate, and this was just a little over 3 years ago. So, although mortgage rates in this current market are hovering between 6.8 and 7%, and inflation is at 3.5%, and the Fed rate's trying to get that down to 2%, our home has appreciated 45% in less than 4 years. So, in a time where the same amount of money buys fewer goods and services, the investment that we made in this home has created a huge hedge against inflation. Why? Our mortgage payment is still the same today. So, because we're not renting, it's not increasing, so we can budget well. Um, it's still the same as it was 3 years ago. We also have a large amount of equity we're sitting on because the house has increased in value. So if we sell it in this current market, we make a nice profit, right? So for those of you out there who are renting, how does this affect you? Well, some of you are in a good position actually, where your rent may have stayed the same for the past few years, which, man, congratulations to you. But for the majority of you, that has not been the case and will not continue to be the case. So each year, your lease renewal comes around, your landlord typically increases the monthly rent, and that's due to inflation, right? So investment properties, like apartments, are designed to generate money. They're designed to generate rental income, which increases over time because of inflation. So the rental income acts really as consistent cash flow or consistent stream of money for the owner or for the landlord, and that grows in value as prices rise. So when the prices of goods and services rise, the landlord increases the rent in order to maintain the asset, right? To continue to maintain it physically, as well as maintaining the amount of profit they're receiving. So what does all this have to do with digging your well before you're thirsty? Y'all, it is all about being prepared. Do the work now. Stop putting off for tomorrow what you can do today. So when tough times come, you are ready. You already have water in your well, it is full, and you can weather the storm without extreme consequences. Owning real estate is not about short term goals, it's about long term planning. So if you see the benefit and desire to purchase real estate and you're not ready, so whether that be your credit is subpar, let's just keep it real, or you haven't saved enough for the down payment, start getting your hands dirty and start letting your money work for you, right? Skip a vacation this year and use that $2,000 to $5,000 to leverage yourself right into a new home. Get rid of your $200 cable bill. Stop going out to eat every day. If you want some help, please reach out. If you are ready and on the fence due to the volatility in interest rates, right? Send me a direct message and let's talk about it. Have a great day, y'all, and I will see you next week at the table.